Welcome to part 4 of my post-it note Q&A from the IPPN 2017 conference. I promised the principals I'd answer any questions they might have on post-it notes afterwards, and I'm just creating some short videos because I had loads of post-it notes, and over the year I'll be expanding them into bigger articles. So this is part 4, and here are 5 questions. This one relates to the grant that we're receiving over the next 5 years from 2017. What kind of percentage breakdown of how you should spend money on hardware maintenance and training? It's a really good question, really good for planning, and there's no correct answer to that question. It really depends on your school and its context. I mean, I expect it's probably a good idea to get your stuff up to standard, whatever that might cost, and then really have a plan of what hardware you really need, and then budget for that. I mean, most training is free these days, so I wouldn't be spending any money on training, to be honest with you. But you know, and if you're buying stuff, it usually comes with training. So I mean, I suppose that gives you training of 0% of your money. I don't really think we need anything more specialist than that. I mean, unless we're getting something incredibly sophisticated that the PDST technology education doesn't cover. Anyway, what would you recommend, a laptop or an iPad? I'd recommend both. I'd have more laptops than iPads. I think laptops are brilliant for everything. Their problem is, I suppose their problems are they're harder to carry around than iPads, and their battery life wouldn't be as good, but they're really, really great for everything else. iPads are great for movie making. They've got great battery life, but they're really bad for typing, and they don't work. Lots of websites don't work on them, and they're quite a walled garden as well, and you have to buy lots of different things for them. So, but I definitely would have both. They both have their strengths and weaknesses, which I generally outline on unshaw.net anyway. If you want to have a look at how best to spend your grant, I've outlined that there. This question's quite specific. It's about Picasa. If anyone remembers, Picasa was Google's photo sharing platform, which is no more. That's changed to Google Photos. What sort of it did have some basic photo editing software. I mean, these days you can get as much anything you want. Really, it's free. Avery is one that I know that is free and is online and can be used. I mean, there's one called the GIMP, which I don't suggest you would use in schools, even though it's brilliant just because of its name. But I mean, basic photo editing is available, you know, for free quite easily. I'd even just Google photo editors. Photo editing software, and you should probably find something. But Avery anyway would be one that's best known these days, and you could try that. Down here we should I be building up my share of Mac or Android devices? It depends. The question you should be asking you is, what will you be using them for? I mean, if you require a Mac to do things, then build them up, and if you require Android devices to do things, build them up. I mean, I find Apple Mac laptops are extremely expensive, but they last for years and years and years. I have a 6-year-old Mac that's as good as the day I bought it, where I couldn't say that about a Windows PC. Android devices are probably just as good as your iPads or anything like that. And you know, again, really good for integration with Google Apps, or G Suite as is known. But ultimately, you have to decide what you're using them for, and then buy accordingly. And then finally, the best free accounts package. Well, I mean, in all honesty, there's only one show in town if you're looking for free, and that's the IPPN's own accounts package, which is based on Excel. We use it in our school, and I'm not just saying that because it's an IPPN video. I haven't come across anything better that's free. In fact, I haven't found anything that's better that's not free either. I suppose that's the one to go for. Go onto the IPPN website and you'll be able to download it there.